My mum took me back home and said, that's it, you're getting married.
Wow.
Choose a guy. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to spend money. I don't want you to touch me. Because we were still married, he would force me. Why can't you just love me? Like, just love me.
Yeah.
Like, hold on a second. This isn't normal. Like, people don't go through this.
This is not okay.
This is not okay.
Yeah, that's not spoken about much in our community at
all.
all.
Because it's like, it doesn't exist if you're married. Imagine going to an imam and saying,
Oh, okay, that's the one bit I wouldn't do personally, but yeah, fair enough.
So they just went like,
They were like, girl, what's up?
go back home.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Leave now.
Do it now. Pack the bags. Get out.
Literally.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? You're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. No, the most important thing is having happy parents, not both parents. Allah is showing you all these signs of you need to leave because X, Y, and Z, and you're still staying. You're harming yourself, and that in itself is a sin. He was like, it's fine.
Did he actually say that?
Yes.
We're often told the same story growing up. Be patient, get married, and everything will fall into place. That's what we're taught the finish line looks like. But no one really talks about what it feels like when you reach that finish line and you still don't feel at peace, happiness, or even safety. Instead, sometimes it feels like you're just trying to survive quietly. Hi guys, welcome back to ChaiiTalks. Today I'm joined with Aisha, who we're going to be having this conversation with and talking about what that really looks like behind the closed doors. Hi Aisha, thank you so much for being on today's podcast episode. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good and so glad to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us a bit about your business. What do you do?
So I do quite a lot of things, but mainly it is content creation on social media. And then I have a hijab business as well. I also want to delve into streetwear.
Yeah.
So everything's all over the place.
Give us the name.
The name of the business?
Yeah.
So it's Empowered by Modesty for the hijabs. And then my streetwear brand is called Shuru, which means the beginning or to start in Pashto.
Yes. Lovely. So Aisha, I've already said this to you, but I will say this on the internet as well. I fangirl over her because I have been watching her content for years. And I know when you first, if I'm not mistaken, when you first started content creation, a lot of it was to do with your marriage and leaving that and then meeting your husband and such. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about that? How old were you when you got married? Was it love, arranged? Was it forced? Because there's obviously a difference between arranged and forced. As much as you feel comfortable with sharing, of course.
Sure. So I was 16 when I got married. And I wouldn't say it was entirely forced, but it was one of those where my mum took me back home and said, that's it, you're getting married.
Wow.
Choose a guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I didn't really have that much of a choice.
Did you feel pressure, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. And if anything, I just wanted to make them happy. I was just like, I just want you guys to be happy. So obviously I fought for it for a bit.
Okay.
But then I kind of just gave up and I was like, okay, whatever makes them happy, really. If it works, it will work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's not going to work. So yeah, I was 16 and I got married back home in Pakistan and my husband at the time was 19.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So, right.
So he was older than me.
Older than you, but also still quite young himself.
Exactly.
Do you think he was also kind of pressured into it a little bit?
I feel like his entire intention of getting married was to build because they were from a very poor family.
Okay.
So, and he was the eldest son.
Yeah.
So to him, he wanted to earn that money and come abroad.
I was going to say, did you want to come to England?
Yeah.
Right,
and
okay.
Fairs, do it, get your bag.
Yeah. Did you kind of know of that intention before you got married or was that something you figured out as time went on?
No, I didn't know of it, but I didn't mind helping. Like, I didn't mind being the stepping stone for someone to be able to feed their family either at all. I was like, if this is what it takes for him to be able to, you know, feed his family and stuff, all good.
Were you kind of looking at it from a perspective of, this is my spouse, I'm going to be with him forever, so why not help him out?
Exactly, yes. And I loved his family. I still do. If I was to go back home, I would go and see them.
Yeah.
There's nothing, they've never done anything wrong to me or said anything, or I would still like give them cuddles and all that stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
So,
yeah. So I want to start off with something that I think a lot of people only really see when they're looking at this sort of stuff from the outside. When you see people on TikTok, social media, see stories like yours, what do you wish that they understood, you know, the reality behind it.
Okay, so I feel like when people hear my story, they often look for, where's the signs? Like, you know, what has she got? Because obviously, after that video went viral, there was so many comments and I literally had to like filter so many out. But
Yeah.
a lot of the negative comments were like, there's always two sides to the story.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I had
was
the
just
same with
like,
my mum's.
literally. And I was like, okay, go listen to his side then.
Yeah.
Go look for it. But yeah, I feel like, especially in our community, when you talk about abuse in marriages, they're like, hey, where's your bruises? You know, are you getting fed? Are you being cheated on?
Literally.
That's it. And if you say no to those things, you're fine. Deal with it.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that is a misconception that people have about abuse, that it can't come in a form that's not physical, you know? So
That's not apparent to
exactly,
people.
exactly. Like, people aren't there when the doors are closed. They don't see how much you cry. They don't see how mentally triggered you are, or, you know, how traumatized you're becoming because of all this. So yeah, I think that is one of the biggest things.
And you know what's so interesting on that point is, even if you do go to like an auntie with bruises on your face, they'll just be like, it's just one slap, you know,
Yes.
sell off, you know, we dealt with it in our lifetime. Why can't you guys like deal with it? You know, I think they apply the same rules that they had to suffer with to you guys as well, and to us, you know, which it's not fair.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, you obviously don't have to answer this. Was there any physical abuse in that relationship? Or would you say it was more psychological?
It wasn't physical,
don't.
but I would say this is another thing that people don't agree with, but there was like intimate abuse, I would say. Best way I could put it.
That's not spoken about much in our community at
all. Because it's like, it doesn't exist if you're married.
Yeah.
It does exist if you're married. Like, you still need consent, even if you're married.
Exactly. I did a video a couple of years ago on marital rape. Oh my goodness. It went pretty viral. And the amount of people on that video that were like, yeah, but that's your husband. And I was like, but how does it make any difference? If I say no, if I'm not married to someone, well, that's rape. But then as soon as we're married, how is that not rape? Like,
exactly.
He's my husband, he's my partner, not my owner. That's not the way that it works, you know?
Exactly.
I think a lot of the times in our culture, in our community, people try to make sense of things using religion or faith as like an excuse. Was there ever a moment where something was said to you in the name of religion that actually made you feel smaller and actually pushed you away from the deen a little bit?
Lots of things, honestly. I had to literally find my religion back myself, because I was just so, not hated it, but I was just like, why would Allah want this for us? And it was mostly things like the angels will curse you all night if you don't, you know, sleep with your husband whenever he wants. And there was one that was like, most of the people in hell are women because they're unappreciative of their husbands, things like that. And I was like, damn, like, I definitely have it hard. Like, there's a lot I need to work on. And all the pressure was just on me, because people don't look at how much emphasis Islam has on the way women need to be treated.
You can say that one again.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how many times has our Prophet said, in his last speech, his last words were, treat your women well. So how are you guys ignoring that, but only focusing on the women of hellfire? Da, 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 da.
It's because it uplifts the patriarchy.
Literally.
It uplifts their distorted perception of society, basically. Like,
exactly.
Before coming here, I was reading these questions out to my mum, and she said the exact same thing as you about that hadith. And I said to my mum, I was like, well, they miss out a core bit of it, that there needs to be a valid reason. Because, some people do obviously withhold intimacy as a form of power and status over the other person. But that valid reason can be anything. It can be you're just not in the mood. But see, that's not a good enough excuse for them, clearly, you know. Was this ever said to you by people in your inner circle, like family or close friends? Or was it more you heard this on the internet?
A lot of the family used to say all these things.
Okay.
And I also used to do a lot of like research and speak to like qadis, and they used to say the same thing too. So there was never really like an open door for women. It was always just about the man and how he feels, and look after him. He's working so hard. Da, da, da.
And that's why I think you know, especially with these Dava bros on like
Oh,
100
God.
miles per hour,
Yeah.
this is why it's so dangerous that, as we say in Urdu, like, like, you know,
Yes.
just people here and there, randomos, aren't like coming out and giving advice on faith, you know, because you can literally, like you said, you felt pushed away from the faith. You can push anyone away from the faith. And those women that you're saying are going to be in the hellfire might be in hellfire because of you.
Exactly.
Because of the things that you're coming out and saying to them. And they
100%.
don't understand that, you know. Like, you shouldn't, you know, one thing I really don't like is sometimes when we say, imagine if that was your daughter or mother or sister, why do you have to put your own family in that position? Why can't you just treat someone else as like another human being?
100%, I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Looking back, what do you felt like kept you more in that marriage? Do you think it was a hope for change or a fear for what leaving would mean? Because in our community, you know, log kya kahenge, what will people say is always the biggest thing. And I think a lot of people feel like they have to stay in a toxic environment just to keep everyone else around them happy. Did you have a bit of both, or?
I definitely had a bit of both, but I think mostly it was because I'm a child of a divorcee mom.
Okay, right, okay.
So to me, I always told myself, because I've seen what she's been through, I was always just like, I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't want anyone to say, "Maa ki beti hai," you know, like mother, like daughter, all of that stuff. So for me, it was more out of protection, again, from my mom, I guess. And just like my son as well. Like after I had my son, I was like, I can't like make him go through this, because I thought it was such a bad thing to like go through a divorce as a kid and, you know, be all over the place. And I just wanted stability for him.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, okay, maybe when he's older and he can see what the problem is, then he won't blame me. Because in my head, it was like, what if he blames me? What if he grows up not to understand my side? So I was like, I'm going to wait for him to grow up and he can see what I'm going through, and then I'll leave.
Yeah.
So that was what was holding me mainly.
Right. Do you think that comes from the social stigma of being divorced in our community, because it's such a negative thing? That's why you saw, obviously, your mum was divorced, so therefore you saw that in a negative light than, let's say, in today's world where women will be like, that's empowerment for standing up for yourself. Because obviously that was a completely different time. Do you think that's what was also holding you back, was societal pressure?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it was also just thinking that divorce is such a bad thing. Yeah. I felt like guilty, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a bad like Muslim or something if I get divorced.
Really?
And
okay.
I'll have so much sins and, you know, all that stuff. And I'm going to have to work so much more harder to get my good deeds up.
Yeah.
It was a lot, yeah.
Once again, I think that comes back to you saying that you probably didn't have the best like surroundings around you. You didn't have the best people advising you and consoling you and telling you that it's okay.
Definitely.
Like it's crazy to see how times shift, because there's an imam that I go to for a lot of advice, and like I've spoken to him a bit about like my concerns with marriage and such, and the one thing he says to me is, if it's not right for you, you can just say no, just leave. And I just think that's crazy of like the difference in times. He's in his like mid-30s, so maybe that's also a slight difference. At what point did it start to shift inside of you? Do you remember like an exact time where you felt like, you know, I don't need to fix this anymore. I can't survive this anymore.
Yeah, so I think the moment it clicked in me was when I went back home with my son, like just me and my son. And I was living with his family, my ex-husband's family.
In England or?
Back home in Pakistan. So I went to visit them, and I was there for like a month, I would say. And that was literally the most happiest I had been for a very, very long time. So without him. And that's when I realized that I need to be without him in order to be happy. You know, I was a better parent. I was a better person. I was happier. I was healthier. Everything was great. And I got close to my deen and all of that stuff. So I was like, hold on a second. I'm not the problem. He's the problem, because once he's gone, everything's fine. And that's when I told myself, one day I'm going to leave. And I think when I came back, I went to college and I used to talk to like obviously friends, colleagues. I did work experience, all that stuff. And when I used to tell them some things, they'd just look at me with like jaw on the floor like,
this is not okay.
This is not okay. Yeah. What do you mean you're not allowed to take the bus because of money, even though it's so far away?
Yeah.
And, you know, what do you mean you have to go home and cook? And even though you've been here all day, and just little things. And I was like, hold on a second. This isn't normal. Like, people don't go through this.
Yeah. How old were you at this point?
So it was after I had my son. I was 19-ish,
You were a
19, 20.
baby.
I was
Oh
still
my
quite
God,
young.
you were a
Yeah.
baby. Wow.
Yeah, I was still quite young. And then I obviously started talking to more people. I was like, I'm just waiting for my son to grow up and then I'm going to
Yeah.
leave. And they'd be like, no, that's even worse. You're going to make him get used to his father and then he's going to be
That's a really
even
good
more
point.
traumatized. So if you know that you want to leave now.
We'll do it now. Pack the bags, get out.
Literally,
Yeah.
what are you waiting for? You're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. You can just build on yourself.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand what an internal breaking point looks like. What part of yourself, because you did say that obviously you felt like you'd lost yourself, you felt like you were pushed away from the deen, you weren't as healthy as you were before, you weren't as happy as you were before. What part of yourself do you feel like you had to abandon just to make it through this marriage? Was there any part of yourself that you felt like you had to give up?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a very outgoing, spontaneous, extroverted,
You're quite a bubbly person.
Yeah, I love talking to people. I love going out. I love doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Like I want to do skydiving and, all
Oh,
that
girl,
stuff.
I cannot relate to you on that. I wish.
Yeah, I love doing crazy things. And that was the side I literally had to just lock up in a closet because I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to spend money. It was just a lot of control. I had to let go of all my friendships from school. I wasn't allowed to even talk to the girls. I wasn't even allowed to go to my mum's house much. It was like everything was controlled. Everything had to be controlled. And I just had to focus on being the perfect wife and mother.
And what did he do for you? What did he give up, do you think?
He didn't give up nothing, girl.
Exactly.
He just worked. Yeah. That's it.
Did you ever try and talk to him about this sort of stuff? And if so, like, what sort of reaction did he give you?
We had a lot of fights. I expressed my emotions a lot. And it was always just him telling me that I need to be a good wife and, in Islam this, in Islam that, all of that stuff. And another thing, like one of the things that, like one of the memories that I do have, I've forgotten a lot of memories. Like I think my brain has just
your brain kind of protects you from all of that trauma.
Yeah, so I don't remember so much during that time. I hardly remember my son's childhood.
You're also like a child yourself at the time.
So, but the one thing I do remember is one day I was literally bawling out on the floor, looking up at him, and I was like, "Why can't you just love me? Like, just love me."
Yeah.
And he just looked at me, just be like, just take it as if like I'm mentally unstable. I just can't do it.
Wow.
And I was just, maybe he is. Now that I've learned more, maybe he was mentally unstable. Maybe he had something. I didn't know about that back then. Back then it just, autism, ADHD, that
you don't really
wasn't a thing. So now when I think about all of that stuff, I was like, maybe he was. But that still obviously doesn't
excuse that behavior, of course not.
Doesn't make it okay to everything else he did. But yeah.
Yeah. When you look back now, obviously you've just explained that there are certain moments that do stand out. I appreciate your brain has blocked out a lot because it is just a way of coping with trauma. Do you remember a certain moment that you felt like something broke inside of you, not just in situations, but as a person where it was like, oh my goodness, like what the hell is going on here,
I think one of the moments was the moment that I just mentioned. And then I think another moment was I was by myself washing dishes in the kitchen and I was bawling my eyes out and I was just talking to Allah and I was just like, why would you put me through this? Like, what have I done? Like, please just take me out or just fix him or something. And I was just crying.
Yeah.
And he walked into the kitchen, looked at me and just walks back out. Wow. And I was like, wow. And that wasn't the only time. Like, he used to leave me crying all the time. And I used to cry all the time. Like, I was such a crybaby. Not even a crybaby, but now when I think about it, like now when I think about it, I don't remember the last time I cried.
Oh, good.
So, I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I think also seeing his culture and his community that he comes from, obviously he's from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is the case for every Pakistani that comes from back home. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But what I am saying is...
You're going to get cancelled.
I know. Already tried, been there, done that. I think a lot of the times, people from back home, especially if they come from villages, like obviously I'm Punjabi, so Binds, a lot of their parents, grandparents, uncles and aunties aren't necessarily educated. So that's the kind of environment they see. They just see a man goes out and works and the lady, they come home to 5,000 dishes on the table to be served to them and 10 children, you know. And they think that that's all that life is about. That's what a marriage is meant to look like. But I think, especially when you've grown up in a Western society where there is an emphasis on emotional like connections between partners, compatibility and such, they don't necessarily understand that the same way we do. So I think your expectations of marriage may not have aligned with his at the time.
Yep, definitely, yeah.
Your mum being a divorced woman herself, does she oppose the idea of you getting divorced? Like, did you ever talk to her about it?
Oh yeah, she was so against it.
Is it because of
the things that she's been through herself? Obviously, when you go through things yourself, you don't want your kids to go through the same things at all.
Yeah.
So she's a person that likes to have everyone around her. She's a very village person. Like, she needs to talk to everybody. Yeah. She'll talk to like 50 people a day. And I'm just like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, same.
Honestly. So for her, it was more like, the way people treated me, they're going to treat her like that as well. And they're going to like take her out. None of the family's going to talk to her. And, you know, because people did that to her. Like they didn't talk to her for years. Her sisters and siblings weren't allowed to be around her and things like that because she's a bad influence. So she was like, she didn't want me to go through the same thing either.
If you don't mind me asking, do you have a relationship with your dad?
On and off. Okay. Like the happy birthdays, the Eid Mubaraks, that's it.
So were you also kind of worried that your son might be in a similar situation as you, where it would have just been very much like a happy birthday message of his dad if you had divorced his dad when he was younger? Because obviously in your mind you thought waiting till he was older. Did you feel like maybe that sort of relationship you had with your father would have replicated? Yeah,
definitely. And I always in my head thought that having both parents is better than having one parent and all that stuff. But obviously now I know better and I'm like, no, the most important thing is having happy parents, not both parents. So if they're going to be happy separately, be happy separately.
2 happy households is far better than 1 unhappy household. You know, I think when somebody leaves a relationship, a marriage, a friendship, family relationships, people talk about leaving as though it's the ending, like, oh, it's the end of the life, basically. But for most people, I think that's where, like, they start shifting. That's where their life begins again. After you left, so how was that process? Like, how did you decide to leave? And did you feel some sort of, like, immediate relief after leaving? Or did it actually take you quite a bit of time before you were able to find yourself again?
So for the people that have watched my video know that I was speaking to someone when I was leaving, not saying do it, but you know,
not saying cheating's okay.
No, it's not okay.
But
don't
he was
follow
in
my
a different
footsteps.
country, wasn't he?
Yeah,
at
no,
the time,
it was just talking, and it was just like emotional help and being there. And I feel like he really did help me be like, no, you need to leave. You know, it was just like a shoulder to cry on kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like because of that situation, I wasn't too burdened and I wasn't too afraid because I was being empowered and motivated by someone else.
Yeah.
Like I had someone there that was standing by me kind of thing. So that's why I feel like the transition from being married to, you know, moving out, getting divorced, I think it went quite smoothly for me. I didn't dwell on it much because I could see like the light at the end of the tunnel already. Like I just needed to reach it, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was okay. But obviously that's not the case for a lot of people. For a lot of people, getting out and then going through that transition can take a long time, and that's okay. Take as much time as you want. One thing I will say is time is the biggest healer.
Yeah.
Like as time goes on, things will get together. You'll be fine. Like just have faith in Allah. And I feel like that is also one thing that really, really kept me together, was just knowing that, okay, if Allah has taken me out of this, He's got me.
Yeah.
He heard me when I was crying, when I was washing the dishes.
Exactly. And they always say he's the best of planners, isn't he?
100%.
And I think it's difficult when you're in that sort of situation because you just want everything to be like happy in 24 hours. But sometimes you do need to look at it from the point of view that you need to give it a bit of time before things do actually get better. How did you meet your husband?
Online.
Was it on like a...
It was on TikTok.
Was it actually? Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
And then when you first started talking, was it just like a friendly thing? Because obviously I'm assuming you were isolated for such a long time.
Yes.
He probably felt like a confidant in a sense, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you met your current husband, what's his name? Sorry. What's our brother-in-law's name?
So
our collective.
so his Hawaiian name is Paea, and then his Revit name is Yusuf.
Oh, beautiful, mashallah. But when you met your current husband, what was the first moment where you thought, like, this is different? I don't have to, like, minimize myself here. Did it also feel, like, did you feel scared afterwards to fall in love again as well?
No, I am such a love person. I love love. I can fall in love.
She's a hopeless romantic.
Girl, I can fall in love over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm just very like, everyone just needs to be so open to love. If it goes wrong, fine, it goes wrong. But just let it in. Mm-hmm. So I've always been like that. So I think that's what kind of, I wasn't like scared or anything. I was just like, again, if it's going to work, it's going to work. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. It's not the end of the world. I've always just been like that. Like whatever comes my way, I'm just like, okay, cool. Next.
Yeah.
You know?
And then was there like a specific moment where you were like, this is different with him?
Yeah, I think it was his character. The way he used to just like carry himself. He was very helpful around the house. You know, he was good with the family. And all of that. And I was like, wait a second, not all men are like this?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. And then his interest in Islam as well kind of connected us because he wasn't a Muslim when we started talking. And he used to get quite like interested and curious about why I'm doing what I'm doing, why am I praying, you know, like I was very, very, because of what I was going through, obviously, I was like very, very practicing and very, very, not saying I'm not practicing now, but like that was the time where I was like, you know, praying to Hajj, Ya Allah, please get me out of this and do what's right and, you know, all that stuff. So I was like, he knew my routine and he was very interested in Islam due to my routine. Mm-hmm. And when I kind of got to know him more, I was like, he would make a good Muslim because what do you mean you're in Hawaii, you're not a Muslim, you don't have any tattoos, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't party, you know, you're already there.
Stuff, yeah.
You're already there, so you might as well just come on.
And also, if you think about it, this is what was planned for you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, TikTok
I feel like
just helped you get there.
I think I was just a pathway of even, this might just all be just his plan, like for him.
That's true.
I'm just a little like stepping stone for him to get where he needs to be.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. I also want to talk about where are you now? Because it often comes with its own like set of conversations and assumptions that people have. What was your family's reaction when you told them about your husband?
Oh my God.
And also, I'm assuming you told your mom, did you tell her while she was still married? Did you tell her? So talk me through all of that. So obviously, how old were you when you decided to leave your husband?
I think I was 21.
Okay.
And it all happened really, really quickly. Like I started talking to Yusuf and I think a couple months after that, I was just like, yep, I need to leave. Because I don't believe in waiting. Like I believe when you have a feeling, you just need to take the leap.
For me personally, sorry to cut you off, it's you got to wait for the right time. I'm a big believer you make that right time yourself. 100%. Otherwise it'll never come, you know. Exactly. Like how do you know that there's going to be a right time? Either you take the plunge or you don't. Simple as that. But
that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I think that's what kind of I was just like, okay, so this is my decision. I told my mum, I think my mum was in Pakistan when I told her. I texted
Perfect
her.
time. At least you weren't going to get like a jumpal on you or anything.
I texted her like a
long
not even a phone call.
Yeah.
I was like, no phone call, no.
Yeah.
Let me just text her. Because I feel like I articulate myself better when I can read what I'm saying and stuff. So yeah, I texted her and she sent me like 10, 20 voice notes. She was just screaming down the phone.
Like cussing you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God. Obviously I knew it was coming and stuff and all of that stuff. And at that time my siblings were staying with me and she was back home. So she also had the worry of, again, bad influence, you know, she's talking to someone and they're still there and all that stuff. My siblings went through a lot with me as well. Like they witnessed a lot of the fights and a lot of the trauma that I went through.
And it's
these
so
stay with me a lot.
interesting that you'd be a bad influence for leaving a marriage, but the idea that them witnessing a toxic or unhealthy relationship wouldn't influence their perception on a relationship negatively isn't considered within our society and our older generations. I just find that so interesting, you know?
It's insane because, like, it was weird because it's my brother and sister that was with me, and my sister was always on my side and my brother would always take my ex-husband's side. Like, he would call me a bad woman, and me and my brother had so many fights.
Was he older or younger?
Both younger.
Okay.
Both younger. They were like, I think 11 and 12 or something.
So babies, basically.
Yes, and I used to see him like becoming this misogynistic boy, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, ew, like he'd be there, like they would eat food together and like look at me and laugh at me and make jokes about me, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Obviously he's not like that anymore, but
I think because he was so young as a boy himself,
it was
going
just
through
that
puberty.
influence.
And also, was your dad around much at the time?
No.
So I think this was the only first male figure he potentially saw.
Exactly, yes. So
OG manosphere.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so your mum sent you these paragraphs?
Yes, voice notes and all that stuff, and I was just standing my ground. I was just like, no, I've made the decision, you know. That's all I could do, really, stand my ground. And then the next steps was to speak to sort of the imams and stuff at mosques and get advice. And everywhere I went, they would obviously shut me down.
Wow.
Because I tell the whole truth. If I'm telling you a story and I've done something wrong, I will tell you what I've done wrong as well.
You're literally like me,
right?
Yeah.
So when I went there, imagine going to an imam and saying, I'm speaking to someone else.
Oh, okay, that's the one bit I wouldn't do personally, but yeah, fair enough.
Right? Yeah. So they just went like...
They were like, girl, what's up?
Go back home. Sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was like... And then I'd come home, I'd cry, be like, what am I supposed to do? There's nobody helping me. There's nobody helping me get out of this situation. I'm even telling the truth. You know, I'm not saying that he's 100% in fault here. I'm telling you, I can't stay loyal to this man because he's not loving me properly. So yeah, I just used to cry and all of that stuff. But I still stood my ground. And then I don't remember how this happened, but... Generally don't remember how this happened, but I got told that in Birmingham Mosque, Central Mosque, there's women that sit in the Sharia Council. So that was my last bet. I was like, okay, maybe a woman will understand. And then, alhamdulillah, I got my khala.
Oh, yeah. Wow. How did your husband react when you first told him? Because did you also tell him that you were speaking to someone else?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He was like, it's fine, have the both of us.
Did he actually say that?
Yes. That was my point of like,
I'm
okay.
so confused.
I was like, okay, this guy just wants to stay in the country at this point because what is going on? Like, how with
that
a
ain't
man
manly behavior. I'm sorry, that's top mentality. What the actual hell?
Exactly. That was like the most confusing thing ever.
So how did you respond to that? Because I'd just be like,
no, I was so tapped out. I was disconnected, and again, it comes to the whole like intimate abuse part because I'm emotionally not there. I don't want you to touch me.
Yeah.
And because we were still married, he would force me. So I was going through like this entire like weird phase and weird feelings and guilt and pressure and all of that stuff. And I think that was the moment that tipped it for my mum, because he used to be like that even when she was around.
Wow.
With like trying to force me and stuff. And that is what sort of, when I told her about it, and that's what tipped her. So she was like, okay,
crazy.
No, that's it. Like, I'm with you.
Wow.
Leave.
How did she react when you told her about your husband's ethnicity? Was that ever an issue in your family?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, we don't know what his family's like. He's not even a Muslim. How's he gonna help you bring up your kids and all that stuff? Valid worries. I'm not saying they're wrong worries. Like, now if I was to advise my kids, I would advise them to not to stick to their own, but just know that you need to teach your kids your culture.
Yeah.
And if you're getting married to someone that's a revert, some reverts are too much into it. Others, you have to lead. My husband's one of them where I have to lead everything.
Okay.
So I am in a situation now where this is one of the negatives of our marriage, by the way, guys.
Tea.
We tell the positives and the negatives,
you heard
okay?
it first on ChaiiTalks, just saying.
Oh, I hate him so much. I'm joking.
Clip that bit.
Yes. What's it called? Yeah, so I am the one who's fully responsible for teaching my kids the deen now.
Interesting.
So so it can go either or all way, like either or all way.
Yeah, either or, yeah.
Yeah, that one. So you can either be in a situation where you'll find someone that will share the workload completely with you when it comes to teaching your kids, or you'll have to do it yourself. And yeah, just a warning to
That's
those that
you
want to
struggle with.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Something that I do find interesting about situations like this is how people rewrite their own assumptions. Like growing up, obviously in my household, my mum was very much like, you need a Pakistani man from this area. He has to have this caste. Don't even get me started on caste. It's ridiculous. It's haram. But anyways. And then it took me years and years and years of explaining to her. Now she's like, I don't care. Just get married as long as he's Muslim. Yeah. She's like, just bring anyone home at this point.
Finally.
No, literally. But genuinely growing up, I just always thought that if I was getting married, he'd have to be Pakistani, this and that. And I just never understood, I just didn't know how to fathom like an interracial relationship, you know, until I started seeing a lot of my other friends. Like I know a lot of Muslim girls now, or a lot of just Pakistani people that aren't necessarily Muslims in interracial relationships. Did you have any assumptions yourself of interracial relationships before you got into one that then changed now that you're in one yourself?
Yeah, 100%. So when I first got taken back home, it was because I was with someone that wasn't. So he was from Kenya.
Right.
Still Muslim, still cultured, everything, but just because he was darker.
Don't get me started on the colorism.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why my mom kind of took me back home, because she was like, there's no way. You need to get home and get married to one of ours. There's no way this is happening. So she was scared of that. That's why she kind of was like, okay, she needs to get married, like quick. So I've always been very open to interracial relationships.
Yeah.
Like if you like the person,
who cares?
Who cares? So yeah, and I feel like now that's exactly what I encourage my kids to do. Is like, as long as the person is good Muslim, you know, is ready to build with you and all of that stuff. That's all that matters now. But obviously, my mum is still like that. Like, my mum is still like, I want my kids to get married to someone from the same culture. Obviously, now that I've broken that barrier,
you've made it easier for everyone else.
Yeah, there's no like, okay. And because she's accepted my husband now, and that's a whole nother story. It's like my entire family puts that burden on me, because I'm the eldest daughter, eldest granddaughter, eldest everything.
Eldest cousin.
So all the cousins are under me. And because I've broken that barrier, I'm a bad influence still to all my cousins. Like,
even till
don't
date.
Follow. Like, they're fine with me now.
Yeah.
I can go and see my family. My husband goes and sees my family and everything. But they use me as an example still. But that's the tough part, because I've ended up being a good example.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, oh, crap, what can we do now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, there's two things to what you said. First of all, as soon as you said he was Kenyan, I was like, oh, I know exactly what the issue is here. Yeah. I think it's crazy. Like, we literally come from a faith where racism is not acceptable, you know, where we're all the same in the eyes of Allah, you know. And it's just so weird how, it's just disgusting in my opinion, how some people still put colour above anything. Like that guy, you could have married him maybe at the same age and you could have still been with him and had a very happy life. Your mentality might have been the same. You would have been slightly more compatible. Obviously, we don't really know what the situation would have been like, but I'm just giving you a hypothetical. Yeah. But just because of the colour of his skin, because I can assure you, I think if he would have been any other ethnicity, your mum, after a couple of years, would have come round.
100%.
But it's because he was black.
100%.
You know, because I see this in my own family as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that people don't, like, that's one thing that I emphasize a lot on to my own self, is that anything I do can come back onto my kids. Because I've seen it, happening to my mum as well. Like, the things that she's done has come back onto us and things like that.
Can you give me an example?
What can I think of? Like, say, for example, there's one lady in our family that she doesn't like, and my sisters ended up just being like, just like her.
Really?
So it's like that. Like, never say never, and never like judge another person's, I hope she doesn't watch this. Never judge another person's character or the things that they do and why they do, because your kids might end up doing that. Your kids might end up being like that.
Yeah.
So just be careful, guys. Like,
yeah, with what you put out.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I feel like there's always a black sheep of a family, you know? And the thing is they will make an example out of you when they want to make an example out of you, you know?
Yeah.
So to some of your cousins, you might seem like an absolute icon, you know, a hero. And then the elders are obviously going to see that as something bad. But then you do something good and it's like, oh, but Aisha did this instead, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like there has to be I always say this to my mom as well, because when my mom and dad got divorced, there was like a crazy uproar in her and like her whole family. And then before then, nobody really got divorced. People just accepted the abuse, you know. And after she got divorced, so many women came out and got divorced. And at the time, it was so difficult for her. But I always say one thing to her, that you were a voice for so many other women.
So many.
Like, I know it's difficult in that moment, but you've probably been a voice for so many people, and that goes on social media as well. You probably are a voice for so many girls, especially in our community. What do you think people always get wrong about, you know, your relationship when they see it from the outside?
They think it's so perfect. Like, I feel like people don't understand that what we put out on social media is the things that we want you to see. Yeah. We can edit so many things out and all of that. And that's why me and my husband stopped making YouTube content. We used to have a YouTube couples page.
I do remember you had one.
So we completely stopped because we just
feel Nessa as well sometimes?
Yeah, I felt that. And I felt like if we're fighting, I'm not going to sit there and make a video with you and act all
happy,
like I'm good and stuff. So we went through like a very low point in our marriage, and we just completely stopped making YouTube videos and all that stuff. So I feel like people need to understand that we still go through things. There's still so many battles, so many struggles that we have with each other. And it's okay to feel like that. Like, it's okay to feel like something's not going to work if it's not going to. Sometimes you feel like there's been so many times, even now, where I'm just like, go, leave. I don't, you know, it happens in every single relationship, in every situation. It's going to happen. Nothing is ever perfect. And sometimes it's like Allah has written something for a certain time. And once that time is over, it needs to go do its own thing. Yeah. And you just need to accept what's written for you. That's it.
Yeah. What has this relationship taught you that has got nothing to do with like culture, religion, or background, but everything to do with how someone treats you?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that one. I think the biggest thing it has taught me is that you have to forgive as much as you would want to be forgiven by Allah. Like, as much as we sin all the time and a lot, right? And you said not to do with religion. But I'm just
it's okay. You can talk about religion. Go for it.
Yeah, I feel like forgiveness is the biggest thing that it's taught me. And it's also taught me that you need to love yourself in order to put love out. So if you're not happy within yourself, you're not going to be able to love anyone properly. I think that's the biggest thing it has definitely taught me, that I need to work on me. I need to heal. And obviously I jumped into a relationship straight after. I would advise people to first do your healing. Yeah, definitely. Do your healing first and all that. And I feel like now, after almost 10 years, now I'm healing. Wow. Now I'm finding myself again. So it can take long. It can take ages. And sometimes you don't even realize it. So yeah, heal first and love yourself first before
100%.
Giving it to anyone
I think
else.
It's always important to put yourself first.
Definitely.
You know, because at the end of the day, if no one in this world chooses you, at least you will choose yourself 100%. First. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I want to end this off by, you know, speaking to that person that's listening to your story that might be able to relate to it. If someone listening right now or watching right now is still hoping that things will change, what would you want to say to them that you wish someone had said to you?
You know when you have given it your all. No one else knows that. When you feel like you have given it your all, you've tried everything, whether that's in a month, whether that's in 15 years, 40 years, doesn't matter where you are in your life. if you feel like you've tried everything and it's still not working, please leave. Stop waiting around. It's not wrong to choose yourself. Allah doesn't... One thing I really, really taught myself during my ex relationship is that Allah wants you to be happy. Allah doesn't want misery. Like, it's not a rewarding thing to be miserable. I feel like as Muslims, we feel like the more deeper crap we're in, the better our judgment is going to be on the day of judgment. No, that's not true. Like, Allah has given us free will. Allah has given us our brain and everything to make the right decisions. If Allah is showing you all these signs of you need to leave because X, Y, and Z, and you're still staying, you're harming yourself, and that in itself is a sin.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
One thing that I had to really, really drill into my brain is that the longer I stay in this relationship, one, I'm harming myself, and two, I'm harming him as well because he's not able to fulfill my rights.
Yeah.
Neither of us are. So we both need to leave each other. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah. And lastly, do you think you had to lose what you thought love was in order to actually find love again?
No, I'm such a whimsical person.
Aww. It's good to be optimistic though.
Yeah,
why not?
Like, I'm still like fairy tale, sunset, all
Bollywood
that kind
movie,
of...
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah. Oh, no, I had to lose that. Actually,
Oh, did you? Why?
Girl, don't watch Bollywood movies.
My it literally distorts your... Yeah.
My kids are not allowed to watch Bollywood
really?
movies.
Why?
No, I've never now my son is like 13. Now he's allowed to here and there, the comedy ones.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, that's all I used to do is watch movies because my mom was working all the time. So it was DVD after DVD after DVD after DVD. And my idea of a man was just so fictional. And it was just because of Bollywood.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? He's just going to be standing like this and like arms wide open.
Be like, bullet,
literally,
like that sort of thing.
It doesn't happen. That part of love I had to let go of, and I had to teach myself that love is raw and real. And yes, it can still be whimsical of like pretty dates and sunsets and cute things, but there's also a very ugly side to it as well. It's not always going to be Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
It's not
stood there with like a little whatever guitar or something, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aisha. So I always end off like my little podcast episodes with like I'm going to bring it back to Bollywood, like a little rapid fire round.
Love that.
Not at the point yet where I can give you a hamper, but inshallah next time I will make a full hamper for you.
Yep.
So I call this a ChaiiTalks Chai Shots.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw some questions at you. They need to be rapid, just short, simple, sweet answers. Okay.
Cool.
One word for how you feel about love right now.
Whimsical.
Do you believe in everything happens for a reason?
Yes.
What's something you understand about yourself now that you didn't before?
What's something I understand about myself that I didn't before? Let me think on that one. This isn't rapid. I need to be rapid. Girl. Oh my God. That I'm still a child.
You've got a child inside
yeah.
of you, yeah? What's your biggest non-negotiable in a relationship now?
Not being able to balance things out.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Ooh, you're not rapid anymore. I mean, like, everything in a relationship needs to be balanced out to the way where you're giving the right amount of everything to the person. It can't just be like,
plate.
Yeah, it can't just be like work. It has to be
Rihanna would say.
Work, quality time, you know, dates and all that stuff. It can't just be one thing or the other.
What's something you used to tolerate that you would never tolerate again?
Non-consensual intimacy.
Good. What's one lesson life has taught you the hard way? There's too many hard life lessons I've been taught. Don't trust everyone. That's very good advice.
Not everybody wants the best for you.
That's very true. What's something you value more than you did before?
Oh, nature.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think people can truly change? You did say you were a whimsical person.
Yes. If they want to.
That's a good answer. That's a very good answer. What's one red flag you spot instantly now? In anyone, not just in a romantic
Love
sense.
bombing. Like being overly nice, whether it's friendships or relationships or anything. If someone is instantly too nice to you, run the other way.
Yeah. That's a
There
red
needs to
forest
be
there.
a bit of mean in there.
Yeah. What does peace mean to you in one sentence?
Listening to my children recite the Quran.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
One thing you're no longer apologising for?
Being myself.
Good. And lastly, finish this sentence. I know I've grown because I
love myself more and more every single day.
And that is a beautiful way to end off this podcast episode. Aisha, thank you so much for your time today and your honesty. When we were discussing this episode, you said one thing to me, and this is one of the biggest reasons why I do what I do on TikTok, and I'm so vocal about the stuff that I am vocal about, is you said, you basically said something, I'll paraphrase, that you wanted to do this for your daughter as well, because obviously you don't want her to grow up, thinking that this sort of stuff is acceptable. And a lot of people think that when you come on the internet and you share your story, you're just doing it for attention, for clickbait, for this and that. And that's not always the case. I think a lot of people have pure good intentions behind it. You probably are doing it for the sake of teaching other people how to notice these mistakes and such. And I really do hope, first of all, I hope anyone in this situation, you can get some sort of help and leave. That's the first thing. But I do hope that your story has given someone else the courage to maybe go, you know what, I'm going to put myself first. Because when I followed you all these years, I know it definitely did give that to me. So thank you so much for being here today. Anything else you would like to add?
No, not really. Thank you for having me.
No, don't worry at all.
It was a lovely, lovely podcast conversation.
Aisha's links will be all in the description box below, including the business. So anyone that does wear hijabs. You selling anything else at the moment?
No, I was selling Miss Walk holders.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I need to find a new supplier because my
Right.
supply is being funny. So
Yeah, girl, we've all had problems
We're
with that
getting
sort of stuff
there,
before.
yeah.
But all of those links will be in the description box below. Thank you all very much for listening, and I can't wait to see you in my next episode. Bye, guys.